Morning, everyone. Welcome to. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of some of the stuff you're doing, Rhonda. Welcome, everyone. Great to see everyone joining us. We're down a few on numbers, but hopefully we'll see a few kick in during the meeting.
A couple more coming in now.
More coming in?
Yeah, a few more coming in.
Okay. Just welcoming some of our dignitaries. There's the old grumpy Charlie Nichols, our past president. Welcome, Charlie.
Thank you, Greg.
Now, what have you done to my screen, Rhonda? As well, Stephen, welcome to our meeting this morning. And I don't think we've Ferguson on board as yet, have we, Jeremy?
Yeah, that's me.
Donna's there.
Have I? Oh, well, welcome. Well, oh, sorry, Donna. Yeah, of course. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We'll kick in with some thoughts for the day, and I'm looking at my sheet here and my screen, which is all over the place. Anne Stuckey, have we got Anne there? Not as yet.
No.
Okay. Pape hasn't joined us as yet. Ken Smithies hasn't. Yvonne.
Yes.
Oh, there you are, Yvonne.
Hi. Yeah. So Yvonne Collier from Sydney, Madison Training, helping people connect and have better conversations. The game of life is the art of getting what you, sorry. The game of life, right here, is the art of getting used to what we didn't expect. And that came to mind because of Jock, you know, MasterChef Jock at 46,
Oh, yes.
dying. I was all set to watch, you know, the new MasterChef. He's left behind a beautiful wife and 4 young children. And it's just, anyway, so, you know, so much is not in our sphere of control.
Light on that story overnight as to, was it a natural cause or was there something else?
All the police, all that was on the news this morning was there's no unforeseen circumstances.
Very sad.
Ever so sad, yeah.
Jeremy, I forgot to mention all the thought judges.
Oh, God. Hang on, let me.
So that was a good one.
Rhonda,
Oh, I'm not ready yet. Can you move to the next one and come back to me, please?
talk about pushback. Harry.
Okay, good morning all. My name is Harry and I am the owner of Connects Property all over Queensland, doing brand new developments up and down the coast. And my thought for the day is someone will always be prettier. Someone will always be smarter. Someone will always be younger, but they will never be you.
Oh,
Very good, Harry. That might be a winner. Rodney, good morning. Your turn.
Kia ora, everybody. Coming to you live from the Bay of Plenty in New Zealand and North Island, where it is really overcast and we're expecting heavy rain. Heavy rain has been a real problem for our country this year. We've had a couple of cyclones and done trillions of dollars worth of damage and disrupted communities. And it is the start of global warming. Mother Earth has said, I've had enough, and you're going to get it. And unfortunately, those communities that got it have been totally destroyed. And if you've seen the news, the Esk Valley in the Hawke's Bay, where a lot of the great wine is produced, was absolutely flattened and covered in, 10 meters of silt. And so we're still trying to clean that up. Anyway, I'm retired, trying to be retired. I landed the job as chairman of the Matata Residents Association, as you do, and that's been trying. I developed a little product called the Hitch Post, which is a anti-theft device for caravans and trailers and boats, and that ticks along online. Now, my thought for the day is I'm organising a family reunion. So I had some pads printed, and the thought on the bottom is, I'll read it to you. Family faces are magic mirrors. Looking at people who belong to us, we see the past, the present, and the future.
Very good, Rodney. Very good.
Very good.
Charles Coves, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you on board. Charlie Nichols.
Yes, good morning, swappers. My name, as you've just heard, is Charlie Nichols. And my positive thought of the day is, if you come online and you don't have a positive thought of the day, just make one up like I just did.
Thank you, Charlie. Ann Carlson.
Okay, I'm Ann Carlson. I'm in Colorado, United States. I'm looking right out on a beautiful mountain that's called America's Mountain. It's Pikes Peak, and but I'm yearning for Australia still too. My thinking of this mountain, mountaintops inspire us, but valleys mature us. And I don't know about you, but at my age, I just am kind of about as mature as I want to be, but both of them are very valuable.
Good on you, Ann. Thank you. Thank you for that. Alex Eason, good morning.
Good morning. I got in at long last.
No.
5 months. Well, my thought for the day is do it now. Tomorrow could be dementia day.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thought.
Rhonda, back to you.
Good morning, swappers. I am Rhonda Buttery and I live in Brisbane, Australia. And my business activity is one area is providing nutrition and income support. And the nutrition is made from food, not from petrochemicals, which most of them are. And my other area of business is selling and teaching people how to use astrology software. And my thought this morning is quite a simple one. Happiness is not by chance, but by choice.
Deep.
Deep, Rhonda, thank you. Charles Covess, again, good morning. Thought for the day.
Good morning, Greg and Swap. As I was thinking back, Charlie Nichols and Greg, and the first Swap speech that I did, I reckon, was 29 years ago, because it was 30 years ago that I left my legal career to become a professional speaker. And my thought for the day is similar, Rhonda, but this is from Ayn Rand. Happiness is the state of consciousness that proceeds from the attainment of one's values.
And has it been that long? Because you're not looking that old, Charles.
Greg, you know, if there weren't ladies on the call, I'd say that you're only as old as the woman you feel. But I won't be able to say that.
Boom, boom. Jeremy.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Jeremy Britton from
You
Boston.
want to turn your volume up there, young fella?
I'm not sure how to do that, mate.
Haven't you got a toggle on your wire around your neck?
Microphone, Realtek.
Go to your mute.
Is that any
microphone,
better?
bottom left.
Is that better or worse?
That's
Yeah.
better.
Okay. Sorry, Jeremy Britton from Boston Trading Company, and little Boston sitting here with me this morning with her jacket on. We take care of investing for people, primarily investing in cryptocurrency as well as some stocks and shares for those people who are too busy to do it themselves. And the investment is a risk, obviously, things can go up and down, but in life, the biggest investment is not taking any action.
Good one.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Very good.
The biggest risk is not taking the action.
Yeah.
That makes better sense.
Stefan, good
You said
morning.
the biggest investment is not taking the action.
I'd like to see the transcript, please, Charles.
Very much in the crypto world.
We can do that.
Right, moving right along. Stefan, good morning. Thought for the day?
Hey, good morning, or like here in Savannah, it's thought of the evening in my case. Well, I coach people and I also help people, you know, pivot in their lives. So here's what I always say. What do people get when they get you? So you better know what you're giving people, because that's what they're getting from you. So you better know what you're giving away.
Very good. Very. Okay, Ken Smithies.
Morning, Greg. Yes, Ken Smithies from Baronia in Victoria. My thought for the day, I'm a semi-retired Bowen therapist, BOWEN. Nobody understands what that is, but it's a very good therapy that originated in Geelong. And my thought for the day is keep on keeping on, but with high expectations.
Yep.
Donna, we haven't had you as yet?
No, and I do have a thought. I was prepared today. So I'm Donna. I'm from Unique Vibrations. I have a coaching business that helps people to create the life they desire and also to create their own financial independence. So my thought for the day is no matter the situation, always protect your peace. You do have the strength to get through difficult times and you can handle whatever life throws at you. So do not overthink it. You do not have to believe your negative thoughts. Release your attachment to your thoughts and feelings. Imagine yourself floating above the clouds of negative thoughts, doubts, and fears. You are free. You are safe. Embrace a renewed sense of tranquility.
Excellent. Thank you, Donna. Okay, have I missed anyone? No, I haven't. Who have I missed?
Did we get Alex?
Yeah, you got Alex. Yeah, yep. Okay, I'm Greg Eldred from Executive Solutions in Melbourne. Thought for the day, a great pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do. Boom, boom. Now, Jeremy, best thought for the day.
Wow. I was detecting a little bit of a theme, you know, be yourself and stop overthinking things and be happy and living in the now. I think this is actually a really nice theme. And it's hard to pick one. Like I've got all these notes written down. I'm thinking, wow. I think with Charles, aligning your happiness with your values, because that's one thing that can actually cause us to get out of the moment is to go, oh, you know, a bad thing happened or a good thing happened or whatever. But if your happiness is aligned with your values, then it sort of permeates your life rather than just being fluctuating on a day-to-day. So that's
Great.
Good one.
Applause.
Will Charles repeat his thought, please? It was a little more rounded than what Jeremy said.
Yes, it was by Ayn Rand, and I love Ayn Rand because I love personal responsibility, and that's what swappers are all about. Personal responsibility, aren't we?
Yep.
Don't blame anybody. We don't blame the market. We don't blame. I had it written down here. So it's Ayn Rand. So she was big on personal responsibility, and then was criticised for it. And it's happiness is the state of consciousness that proceeds from the achievement of one's values.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Charles.
That's a good one.
Okay, moving right along, Jeremy, our 5-minute speaker. Are you introducing this morning?
Harry is.
5-minute or guest speaker?
Harry's introducing 5-minute speaker and Rodney is introducing our half-hour speaker.
Great, thank you for that communication.
Oh,
Harry, I'll pass over to you.
If those guys will check their chats from like 10 minutes ago, they might actually know what's going on.
okay. I think you gave me the message the other way around, but that's okay. It is my sheer delight to introduce our 5-minute speaker, who is not on my list, but
Stefan.
It's in your chat box.
is it Stefan?
Yeah.
Oh, Stefan.
Nothing like being prepared and running a professional meeting here.
Here you go. Move it down. Good morning, all. So Stefan coaches. He is striving and inspiring leaders to achieve the purpose and increase their level of fulfillment. He comes from the wonderful part of the US. He's helped hundreds. Actually, he's from Savannah, Georgia. Am I getting this right, Stefan? Sorry.
Oh, you're doing great.
I've got
No
the wrong
worries.
glasses.
I see that
so
you've
there
been
you go.
preparing for this for the last 2 hours, so it's okay.
That's right. He offers to increase people's level of freedom so that they can boldly move forward to a brighter future. Stefan, all yours. Thank
Hey,
you.
awesome. Hey, thank you, Harry. Really appreciate that. We've all known this, right? We know that all of our choices really matter. right? We've known this since we were kids. So when you were kids, you knew which chocolate chip cookie you should go for, right? The one with the biggest one, or the one with the most chocolate chip in there. We've always known how choices are so important. They're so important that when we grew up, we decided in which type of work we would be doing, right? We chose the studies that would allow us to obtain the results we wanted in life and the things that mattered most to us. So choices matter so much. A few years ago, while I was in Montreal, because I was born in the States, but I lived in Montreal for a long period of my life, I felt compelled to something else. I don't know if you ever felt like that, but I wanted something different than what I already had. Not that I wasn't content with life. It was great. I mean, I had a great job, great position, great place, except for the winters, but everything was great. A great marriage, great kids, great place to live. Maybe not Brisbane, maybe not Melbourne. I get that. Certainly not as great as the beautiful island of New Zealand, North Island, but it was great. It was a great place. We just loved what it was. But I did feel compelled to change something up. And we've all been there at one point. And we knew that when we felt this urge to go for something else, for change, for something that would, determine a little bit of the direction of our lives, maybe not the destination, but at least the direction of our lives, we knew we needed to obey. We knew we should follow that yearning. We knew that we should go for it. And I did. I decided to leave a great position. I decided to leave a great job that paid me well, that gave me all the recognition I wanted, gave me the opportunities to train and coach people, gave me the opportunity to even, have a lot of speaking commitments all over the world. And that was great. But I did feel like there was something else that I needed to go for more. Because we all know this, right? You know this. In your business, your choices matter. Well, and I knew at that moment, what brought me to where I was at that time, age 49, age 48, actually, what had brought me there would not get me to where I wanted to be. And it doesn't matter what age we're at. It doesn't matter where we've been in life. It doesn't matter how much wealth we've gained. It doesn't matter how much wealth of information and wisdom we've gained. We all know that what got us here won't get us to where we actually want to go. So I had to make some changes. I had to shift. I had to start thinking differently. I had to, look at things and switch it up a little bit. Because we all know, right? Our choices matter. So who we're going to be aligning with, who we're going to be listening to, what we're going to be, the action steps that we're going to be taking, always bring us in the direction that we'll end up at one point. A few things happened during that time. I got fearful a little bit, and leaving your comfort, leaving something you already know, and then you have to go into the unknown and start building something that is not built yet, starting from scratch. So there's this fear. And I think a lot of business people that I've met and people that I coach, they all get this. There's this entrepreneurial spirit within you. And you know what it is. There's this drive. There's this come on, let's go get this. At the same time, there's a little fear to it because I don't know if this venture is going to work out. We don't know. We don't want the glooming negative thought like Nancy was saying. We don't want that glooming over us, but it's still, to a certain degree, it's still there. And that's when our choices really matter. Why am I telling you all this? It's because when your choice to pursue your purpose will always precede fulfillment. If purpose is money, well, go for it. But for most people, purpose goes deep within. It goes so deep that they want to absolutely search for it. Some people actually search it for all of their lives and they never find it. But your choices will determine where you're going and the level of fulfillment that you'll get in your life. You'll go from, since your choices matter so much, you'll go from being self-centered to be outward focused. It's not all about me, it's about other people in front of me. I was hearing the story about the vineyards and how the cyclones have, put everything to the ground. I can only imagine that's hard, but our choices matter. So then it's time for fulfillment to go and help out our other people. We go from frustration to exaltation, and I could go on for hours and hours about this one. But I've been helping people make those shifts, those minor changes, those things that change up a little bit. And that's why I started coaching. That's why I offer online classes. Why? To help people shift their mindsets and not shift their values, but get grounded in their values, because the choices we face, the choices we make always determine where we're going to end up. So here's what I want to offer you today. All of you are successful in your own right? You're good at what you do. That's why you hear. That's what you call swappers. That's why people look up to you in the things that you do. I'll offer you a master class, five breakfasts in your case. I'll do it late in my evening. And I want to offer it to you. So if you go on my website, this will be for you. I'm not offering it to Canadians or Americans, just people from down south, from down under, like we say here, right? And if you go on my website, it's stephanecote.org/shift, and I'll offer you 33% just for you, 5 weeks, 5 hours. That could just change your life, because you'll discover that your choices matter so much that you can actually get the fulfillment that you want. Is that good?
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Who would like a 33% off, right? So go for it, and you get there. And if you just type swap sale, just for you, nobody else can know it's a swap sale. If you type that in, once you log in, you'll get 33% off.
Good on you, Stephen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that share, and thank you for the opportunity for people who get onto your website. So watch this space. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you.
Okay, Rodney, we're going to ask you to introduce the guest speaker, please. You need to unmute yourself,
It's
Rod.
unmute.
How's that?
That's better.
I had to go and find some glasses because I'm not used to reading such small text on my screen. Sorry, Donna, but it's impressive. I've read it, Donna. It's impressive. At 21, Donna experienced domestic violence, which is not nice. Leaving with nothing, she began with finding ways to implement what she had now teaches her clients. Working with world-renowned expert Bob Proctor, Donna gained a deeper understanding of the cause and effect of why we achieve the results we do. Donna continues educating herself with knowledge as much as possible. In 2022, Donna was the recipient of the International Life Coach of the Year, 2022. 2023 won the most influential international coaching CEO. Wow. Donna helps clients using all her proven tools and strategies. Donna is the CEO of Unique Vibrations, a brief, clearing, practical practitioner, registered hypnotherapist. Is that it?
Yep.
Published author, speaker, law of attraction coach, and wealth builder. Welcome, Donna Ferguson.
Welcome, Donna.
Can everyone hear me okay? Yes, no?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, excellent, thank you.
We got muted when you started talking, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I had it on mute, but it must have double clicked for some reason. So I'm just going to also share my screen if that's okay. And I think somebody made me co-host. So I'm hoping this is the right. Yes, perfect. All right. So I just want you to imagine for a moment at a time when you actually felt scared, a time when you really felt like you couldn't move. You were so scared you couldn't move. And now I want you to embrace that and envelop it with fear so deep that you couldn't move. And when you just hold that for a moment, that will tell you how I felt on the 23rd of December, 1978. When I woke up around 1 a.m. in the morning with such a start, I had no idea what had woken me so suddenly. I had no idea what made me feel my heart pounding in my chest. I had no idea why in the middle of the night I had been awoken for absolutely what seemed to be no reason. I was blinking my eyes so rapidly to try and focus on the night vision that I suddenly realized that there was nothing there. There was nothing that I could have possibly seen that would have caused me to wake so suddenly. I looked down at my husband beside me, my husband of 28 days, and it dawned on me, those grey, still grey, cold eyes looking back at me. I asked him what happened, but there was no response. I was still very confused because I just had this frightening feeling within me. And I still couldn't see a reason as to why I would have woken so suddenly. And so what I did was I went to lay back down, and as I did, this closed fist came across the side of my face and almost knocked me out. Well, that was the beginning of the most agonizing and traumatic 7 hours of my life. I was beaten, I was pulled around by the hair, I was used as a human ashtray. Each time I was hit, I could feel myself succumbing to the pain, to the beating, to the bashing. And each time I felt myself slip in and out of consciousness. And each time I didn't know if I was going to live or if I was going to die. And as the sun started to rise, I felt myself needing to go and have a shower just to get up and go into the bathroom and just wash my face. But when I got to the mirror in the bathroom, what was looking back at me was something I didn't recognize. I was beaten, I was blue, I was black, I was swollen, there was clumps of hair missing out of my head. There was a slight slit in one of my eyes that I could actually see out of. But this was on the 23rd of December, just 2 days before Christmas. And I had no idea what I was going to do. I knew that I wasn't going to go and knock on my parents' front door and say, here I am. I did not want to be the bruised and damaged person sitting at the Christmas table. So I disappeared for 3 days. I went and sat in the car, literally lived in the car for 3 days with no money, no water, and no idea what I was going to do. The pain every time I moved my head, from the swelling, from the bruising, was just horrific. And of course, I didn't want to be seen by anybody else either. And right in the middle of the holidays here in Australia, there's lots of people out doing different things, running around, going to picnics, barbecues, and I'd chosen probably one of the busiest picnic areas in Canberra at the time. But I hid in the bushes during the day, and I stayed near the toilet block at night. Desperate for a shower and tasting stale blood in my mouth for 3 days, I knew that I had to go home. I knew I had to go and face this monster of a person that had done this to me. But what was I going to walk into? I had no idea. I had never, ever experienced domestic violence in my life growing up. I'd never heard of it through friends at school. I'd never seen it through friends of parents. I didn't know. And as you can imagine, this was over 40 years ago. So it wasn't spoken about like it is today. Fearful for my life again and not knowing what I was going to do. I knew I just wanted to get home, shower, change, and get out of there. I was met with flowers, chocolates, apologies, an undying love, and other broken promises that came into fruition after a little while. And of course, we all know that is the cycle of domestic violence. Months later, I was pregnant, and I was found out I was pregnant with my daughter. I had been working in a very good government job prior to her birth, and was told to resign, get the funding from that, the superannuation, the payout. And in a couple of months, those funds were gone. And so it was time for me to go out and find another job. Not to my liking. I was told to go and get another job. So I was on the way to an interview, and I remember clearly that driving to that interview, there was a shift in the energy in the car. And I knew that whatever happened today, I had to make some sort of decision to move on from where I was. I knew that if I gave one bit of insight as to the fear that had overtaken my whole body, then I would not probably make it to the interview. And this was the second time in my life that I had ever felt so fearful that I actually thought I was going to die. So I went for the interview. I came downstairs from the interview. And as I was walking down the stairs, for the first time in my life, or actually the second time in my life, I had no conscious awareness of making a decision. I came down the stairs and I was guided out to the right. Now I knew the car was parked to the left, but I was guided to the right. And before I knew it, I was standing in front of a taxi rank and getting into a taxi. Now I had no money, so I didn't know how I was going to pay for this. But you call it what you will. It's law of attraction. It's the divine intervention. It's a message from our higher self. It's whatever you want to call it. So I jumped in the taxi and I went to my mum's. And the taxi fee back then was $1, but I didn't have $1 to pay for that. So I had to actually get the money off my mum to pay for the taxi to then go and sit with her and calm myself down. But what I realized in that moment, walking back to pay for that taxi fee, was for the first time since the first occurrence of domestic violence, I actually felt safe. Now, I mean safe. I had probably slept for 20 months with one eye open. I had been on edge for 20 months, not knowing what was going to happen next, when it was going to happen, how it was going to happen. So I did know in that moment that that was the safest I'd felt in a very, very, very long time. I had created the power to stand up and walk away and allow that divine intervention to lead me on a different path. But then there was a lot to embrace from that. I then had to learn how to live my life as me. But I knew I had gone back to a thought at the age of 7 where I knew there was more in my life. At 7 years old, I was sitting in my room playing a game that I used to often play on my own. And I had a message from above saying, you will have everything that you ever desire in life. You will never want for anything. And at 7 years old, you know, our imagination is huge. So I had a chauffeur, I had a chef, I had this great big house. And the imagination was right there, right back then, like it was happening right now. But that doesn't happen when you've had a lot of pain and a lot of trauma in your life. So you know that as much as you want to achieve those things, you have to then look at how you're going to be able to do that and what needs to change. I didn't grow up with law of attraction, motivational speakers. We didn't have that when I was growing up. We were a humble family living, you know, with those old sayings, money doesn't grow on trees. You've got to work hard for your money. You know, life wasn't meant to be easy, all of those things. And I know that in that moment, as that 7-year-old, that I had that thought that never ever came back until I was 24 years old. And I started thinking about that. What did I need to do to create more in my life? What did I need to do to change the way I felt? I had no voice. I had no confidence. You know, we lose a lot of our self-awareness. We lose who we are when you're in that situation. But what I do know is this. It brought me to the right space at the very right time to do the things that I needed to do to make me who I am today. And I knew that I had to work to actually look at within, at what was holding me back, and learning to manage those thoughts and those feelings and those emotions. And while I was managing that healing, I knew that I had to look at what had compounded over those years and suppressed for so long, including my conditioning and programming, because that wasn't a belief that I wanted to believe anymore. But the one person that helped me do that was Bob Proctor. I knew that when I started working with him, I had come into his coaching as a caterpillar. I knew that I had been a caterpillar for many, many, many years. In fact, I didn't openly speak about my domestic violence for 40 years. I'd spoken in privately, but then what I did was I actually was invited to speak publicly about my journey. And after suppressing it for 42 years, that was a really big step for me to take. And so there I was sharing my story for the very first time back in 2017. And I wanted to know that there was always hope. I wanted to know that if I could help one person understand that there is life after domestic violence, and that there is an amazing life after domestic violence if you want it to be. The process is continual. You don't stop doing the work just because you've got to a destination. Life is a destination, and the journey is continual. We never stay at that one place that we get to. There's always something more. There's always something else to discover. There's always something new to understand. There's always more knowledge. There's always more freedom. There's always something more to open up and allow the flow to continue. Those feelings and experiences need to be released. They need to be removed. And you can only do that by understanding and acknowledging what you've been through and releasing those and letting them go. And having a new set of beliefs that you know that you can then understand and go through. But life isn't always that easy. I had continued to hang myself upside down and not acknowledge who I truly was, and sabotaged everything in my life over and over and over and over again, because I didn't really get deep enough with the healing journey. I didn't really get past those old money stories. I didn't really get past those old beliefs. Unconsciously, I found myself that every element in my life just continued to get sabotaged. I would have everything I ever wanted, and I would lose it all again. I would build it up again, and I would lose it all again. Because, you know, when there's that little block of lack of belief that you don't have within yourself, that you deserve to have so much more in your life, you continue to hang yourself upside down. And it's an unconscious awareness that I really needed to really get deep with the work. The patterns were spiraling. My life was spiraling. The only thing I had managed to do really well was really meet an amazing man and remarried. And we continue our life together still today. But that journey of up and down, the ups and downs, the troughs and the flows, the ebbs and the flows, and, you know, knowing that you need to do so much more than just think you've done enough. So let me ask you this. Have you ever lost something so valuable that you're scared to have it for fear that you will lose it all again? Well, I can tell you I have. I retired in 2010. I resigned from my last real estate job. And I thought, this is it. We have everything. We built our dream home. I had everything. We'd invested some money into things. And then we realized there were some bad investments. So that lack of belief that I truly deserved everything that I had come back again. It had taken me to a place where I was going up and down, up and down. And in 2013, if I didn't get myself a job, we didn't have enough for the next mortgage payment. So that's how bad things can get. I felt like I didn't even have the dollar in my pocket to pay for the taxi fee all over again. So sometimes success can actually often equal more of the same, meaning more pain, because we don't understand why. If your success is fluctuating, do you know what the reason behind that is? I can honestly say with my hand on my heart that if you don't truly believe that you deserve it, then you won't truly create it. Everything stops moving. The flow is not open to receive more. If you're feeling stuck and can't see what comes next, then it's time to understand what you're emotionally connected to in order for sending out the recipe of what you want, the desire that you want in life, because that's exactly what you're receiving back. Knowing how to overcome that fear that you think is stopping you is key to moving forward. Everybody has fear at some time in their life. Most people will hit this brick wall and then zip back straight into their comfort zone because it's too hard. But we all know when we harness that fear and break through that wall of fear, we know that when we use it to motivate us, magic is always going to be on the other side of that. Without a doubt, I can guarantee it happens every time. All you have to do is suck it up, breathe through it, give yourself a really good goal, a short-term goal that will help you to take the action steps that you need to take to break through that. Once we understand how to do that, then we can break through our old comfort zone. And that, of course, is where the best growth is given in anything that we do. We need to have the clarity, we need to have the vision. So set that up short term so you can see it clearly, rather than having a long-term goal that just loses your motivation and your inspiration to get there. I had been hibernating for so long that I just knew it was time for me to transform. And I knew that I had to transform my whole self. Our comfort zone creates our current results. We know that pushing through that creates different results. Pushing through the fears allows us to break down the walls that actually limit us from moving forward into new growth, into new fears, because the fear doesn't stop once you break through. Emotions and experiences create dis-ease in our physical being. And when you find the empowerment, when you make that decision and commit to that, to understand my life's experiences and trauma and release the attached emotions that went with it, I knew I had suppressed anger, blame, guilt, shame, and so much more. But I knew it was time for me to step up. I knew I had to understand those emotions that kept me connected to an event. And even if it's not the same event, the emotion compounds over and over and over. And suppressing that just creates the disease with our physical being. Education is important, knowledge is key, and having a coach is a must. So who are you? Well, I had to work through, as part of the healing, the anger, the guilt, the shame, the fear, and all those other emotions. And I needed to change that into something more positive. I needed to step into who I was. And I knew that there was one way that I could do that. And thanks to that amazing teachings of Bob Proctor, the visualization, the writing, the letting go, the releasing, the replacing everything with new positive emotions and feelings, led me to be able to let go of so much more than I could ever imagine. I reclaimed who I was. I reclaimed who I was meant to be. And when you can do that and you know who you're meant to be, then everything changes. I had activated something inside of me so deeply that I knew that I was already meant to be who this person was developing into. And in that moment, there was a vibrational shift. The visualization had to be real. I needed to see it. I needed to feel it. And connecting to my inner self really develops a new way of us being able to do that. As we embrace the journey, we evolve and become more than and all that we are meant to be. It allows us to connect and process everything we've been through. My future was clear. My vision was clear. My goals were clear. And when asking for something, whatever it was that I wanted, I saw it clearly. I did it every time without with ease and effortlessly. And I also found that there was a way for me to look at life differently, because I knew that whatever was inside of me, whenever I felt something wasn't right, I knew I could easily work on that and let go of that. I knew that I was turning into everything I was meant to be. Telling my story from a different perspective, being above it rather than in it, also helped me to understand how to share emotions and feelings that I had previously held on to, and caused me to break down during the telling of my story. But nobody wants to see that. They want to see that I'm actually able to share that with confidence and let people know that there is more to life, that I can let go of the shame and the guilt and the fear, and allowing us to let go of all of what had limited us previously through my conditioning and programming also was released. The stronger our belief, the more we can manifest, but always make sure you're not connected to unwanted negative emotions and feelings. Don't be in the middle of something that is challenging you when you're putting out a request for something new. You see, your future is what you want to see. And I know that my future is right here in front of me. I can touch it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can taste it. And I know that I can embrace it. And I know that every time I want something new, all I have to do is the same. It's easy. You just follow it. You follow the recipe. It works. So let me leave you with this. Let go of the pain. Forgive those from the past and forgive yourself. Connect to your higher source and, switch that vibration by switching your thoughts and your actions. Let go of any judgment, anger, any of those negative emotions that you might feel. Be very clear about what you want. Do the work every single day. It doesn't happen overnight. When you go to the gym, you don't lose 10 kilos the first visit. It doesn't take long, but it will happen. Release the resistance by recognizing where you are from, where you've come from, and what you're looking at achieving. Look at all opportunities with an open mind, because you all deserve more. Trust in the process. You always have to just let go and trust that it will be exactly what you want it to be. And I can assure you, every single resource that I ever wanted since practicing law of attraction and manifesting everything I want actually shows up at exactly the right time. Everything you've ever been through has led you to where you are right here, right now. So use that energy in the right way to create more of who you deserve to be. Understand your programming and let go of what no longer serves you. That's including everything and everyone that surrounds you. It doesn't matter what your age, culture, religion, gender, it doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from. Work through your comfort zone. It's called growth. And you're powerful to be empowered with all that you deserve to have. So when you can do all of that, the caterpillar actually evolves into the beauty of the butterfly, which creates the ripple effect around the globe. Your vibration plus your energy equals exactly what you are receiving back today. Law of attraction is waiting for you. Now, I was going to offer my law of attraction program, but I'm actually going to copy that. Oh, sorry, just need to go back. I'm going to copy that that link, and I'm going to pop it in the chat, because if anybody would like to have a chat to find out whether or not you're reaching your goals the way that you want to reach them or not, or whether or not you want to find out about some financial strategies, I'm happy to discuss those. Your next decision can actually change your life just by making a call, just by booking an appointment. just by saying yes to something. You know, I have created so much change with my financial status. Question I ask everyone is, if you lost your main source of income today, would you be able to maintain your current lifestyle for the rest of your life? If the answer is no, if the answer is I don't know, because we all know the economy is changing, then you need to put your hand up and book a time to come and have a chat. You can literally change the rest of your life. Your abundance is calling you every single day, every minute of every day. So it's time to answer that call. It's time to pick up the phone and say yes. You deserve to say yes for yourself. So thank you for listening to my story today. I hope that I've been able to help somebody with something. And let me just get that link. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to pop it in the chat as well, so that you can just easily copy and paste it. There we go. Whoops, there we go. All done. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Donna. I'm the official thanker today. It's like, yeah, everybody, round of applause like this. Yeah, just want to say thank you for sharing your life story. I mean, it's just like our hearts go with you, and the up and down and up and down and up and down. It's just, you had us up and down too. And I just think, thank you for sharing not only that, but then the 7 steps where you can get out of it. And of course, I think as swappers, we are all Bob Proctor, you know, the law of attraction. It's not new to any of us. And it was really special to hear your story and how you've come through it and how you're helping other people. It's just lovely. Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Yvonne.
Very much. Yeah.
Donna, can you repeat those 7 steps? I was taking notes and I think I missed some of them.
Yeah, of course. So, you know, there are 7 steps, and I think it's really important that we understand, you know, that the first step was the broken part, you know, where I was so broken, I didn't know where I was going to go or what I was going to do. But the next step, in order to be able to help you start stepping up, is the healing. And then self-sabotage is a big part of most people's lives. I think most of us have been there at some point in time. But it's the understanding. It's knowing what it is that you need to do and recognize on an unconscious level to be able to open up and start releasing the things that don't serve you any longer. And then it's overcoming fear. And that's simply, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting that I've been down with this flu for the last week, because somebody once said, and she was actually one of Bob Proctor's highest consultants, she actually said that when you have these headaches, which is the first couple of days of this flu, when you have these headaches and you are going through a flu, you know, migration, you are actually getting ready to quantum leap into another level. So it's really, you know, it's really strange that that's happened. And so understanding, sometimes you've just got to allow it, take the time, you know, live in your own space of peace. Don't allow other people to break through that. And overcoming that fear and finding a way to harness it, because fear is going to be with us no matter what. And then the steps of empowerment, you know, what do you need to do? What decisions do you need to make and actions do you need to take in order to get through to that next level? And the sixth step, of course, is know who you are. Know who you are on a really deep level, because if you don't know who you truly are within, then you're going to be projecting a misalignment in your two versions of self-image. The one that you hold within, that you don't want the world to see, and the one that you expose outwardly, which is the one when you go out and you meet and greet people. It's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, it's the way you dress, it's the way you carry yourself. So know who you are on an aligned level rather than a misaligned level. And then just allow the process. Like, don't try and force anything. Don't have those attachments going out when you want something. You've just got to surrender it and allow it to come back. And don't be connected to something that you're currently challenged to by asking for something from the universe, because you know that's what you're going to get, right? More of that. So you don't want that. So
Thank you.
that was the 7 steps. Thanks, Anne.
And may you be totally healed and healthy and whole and on to that next level.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I can tell you a story actually very quickly. It's about 2 minutes. Earlier this year, I said yes to something, an opportunity that came my way, swore I'd never do anything in that area again. And this morning, my team hit 1,000 active members, which means that actually takes me to mid to high 6-figure income, which I've never seen before.
Great.
So sometimes you've just got to say yes and work it out later.
Okay, troops, we need to move on to conclude. Again, Donna, thank you very much for your contribution this morning. Greatly appreciated. And I'm watching some of the chats come through. Thank you. Jeremy, can you quickly let us know on next month's guest speaker?
In a second, yep. Just got to tab through a couple of windows. Oh my God.
While you're trying to find that, Rodney, I just want to say thank you for your contributions at the beginning of the before the meeting. Just some of the comments you suggestions you made to refine what we're doing. That's taken on, and Harry and I are working together on refining a few of the processes. So I appreciate your contribution. How'd you go there, Jeremy? Have you had enough time?
Yes, thank you. Next month we have Jenny Cartwright and Marisa Wyman. Jenny has worked with Tom Hopkins, Anthony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, and a few of those other household names. And Marisa started her own call center with thousands of people. I don't know how many people she's got working for her, but a few hundred anyway. Outsourcing back like 15 years ago. I've been using their services, and a few other people have been using their services. So it's an amazing journey that she went on, just going on holiday, seeing some poverty and deciding to do something about it. And yeah, starting a remote call center in some of the poorest nations in the world. So pretty amazing stories coming up.
Okay, thanks, Jeremy. Final announcements. Next month I'll be able to give you the final details on the convention we're putting together for the 1st to the 5th of March next year. And it's to the Philippines, and the convention is based, it has 2 elements. It has a social element for those that want to go to the Philippines and be part of the group and just do their traditional travel around, entertainment, whatever. It also has a very strong business element with Mike over in the Philippines, where he'll be leading a business trip around the Philippines on the businesses he's associated with and how to develop business and develop your own business with resources in the Philippines. So that's coming together very well with Catherine Palin-Brinkworth and Mike, and I'm hoping to give that to you in hard copy next month. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Great meeting. Anybody got to raise a question before I press the exit button?
Greg,
You
when
wait-
is do you have an about date for the next, for that convention?
The convention is the first week in March 2024. And again, I'll have the hard copy details for you by the next meeting. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a fabulous week, fabulous month, and look forward to seeing you next month. Take care.
It's just done a
Take care.
virtual over live. Good on you, Ken.
Oh, thank you. Yes, of course. Wow. Okay. Charlie Nichols, this is one of your favourites. Are you up to one, remembering it, and two, doing it? You gotta
Unmute
unmute
first,
yourself,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Unmute
Unmute.
everyone else.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, Charlie. Charlie, unmute yourself.
He's trying.
No, he's quite good not being able to hear him.
I've even put up the flash for him.
Get him now.
There we go. You're with us.
Oh, thank God for that. Now, this is going to be very good because this is the first time I've ever done. I'm alive and well, and I feel great lying down.
Can you make a
I've done it
quick?
in my head, but not the action. So, are you ready? Get
Yeah.
a little bit of exercise. Are you ready, all?
Yeah.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm alive.
Alive.
I'm well.
Well.
And I
Alive.
feel
Feel
great.
Great.
alive.
I'm
I'm
alive.
well.
I'm well.
Well.
I feel
I
great.
feel great.
Well, I feel great.
I'm alive. I'm well.
Well.
I feel
I
great.
feel great.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm special.
Have a great month, everyone.
Oh,
And you.
I'm
Bye.
going to have a
Bye.
nap now.
Yeah, you have your nap.
I'm having a nap. See you later. All. Bye.
Bye.